Hi, welcome to this video. It's just a quick video. I've got a commission here just to paint a box. It's just an old pine blanket box, straightforward paint job. However, it's a good opportunity to talk about. You can see that it's watermarked, a little bit damaged, and it's got a lot of knots. It's a knotty pine. Problem with knots is they bleed through. If you just paint over a knot, eventually the tannings or the oils or resins will just seep through the paintwork. You've perhaps seen this on your own doors or door frames or when you've used knotty pine. So it's just how to block them. Like any paint job, you need to obviously clean it up first. I tend to try and wash everything down first. You didn't see that here, but I give everything a wipe, a clean, then a sand, which might seem strange, but I think it's a good idea because it gets the muck off the grease and it stops clogging up the sandpaper. So everything's cleaned up, sand. In this case, I've done a little bit of filling because it's an old pine box. It's got a few cracks and dents and that, so I've just gone through the whole thing first and just cleaned it up. So fill it, I sand it again, and then we can look at the knots. The thing is with knots, traditionally people will tell you, old woodworkers would just swear by sort of a shellac-based primer or blocker, and there's no question they work brilliantly. They seal completely in, stop any sort of bleed through. The only problem is with the old paints and primers and these shellacs, they're all based and they're pretty high VOC. They are which is volatile organic compounds, which is not good for the environment, and you can tell even by the smell. These things smell, take ages to dry, so I tend to try and use finding the most sort of eco-friendly products I can. Generally that's water-based these days, and the thing about water-based paints and primers, they're easier to use, they dry quick, they don't smell, you can clean your brushes, so I think the wins generally are pretty good. Now this product here, it's a Vincer product. I'll put the details in the description about this, and it's a knot blocker, but as I say, it's a low VOC, so it's a water-based one. And as I say, arguably, people would tell you it's maybe not as good as a shellac, but I think in this case it's perfectly good. This particular box is pretty old, so that the knots have dried up quite well. Trick is to to clean, get any excess off, and then seal them in. I could use it to paint the entire box and prime it, which but they're expensive things. This particular paint, it covers well. It's designed to not need a primer. Most modern furniture paints are. Now this paint here it's an Annie Sloan. It's an Oxford navy, which the client chose. It's not as thick as I used the Small & Co paints, but it did the job. It only took 2 coats to cover everything really, so it still did the job just fine. As I say, it's a thinner paint, and it's covered well. I think it looks good. It does say that it doesn't need any top coats, any lacquers or primers or whatever on the top, but I have in this case used a polyurethane sort of varnish, again water-based. Because I know the client's using it as like a coffee table, so they want it fairly hard wearing. So I thought extra protection, 2 extra coats of sort of a varnish over the top of the whole thing, just to make it a little bit tougher really. So and that's basically it. It's a straightforward job, but the key with all these things, you can, if you're just looking for shabby chic, and then it doesn't really matter because you want this sort of rough finish to it, but in my case I tend to like a nicer finish, so a bit more time preparing is the key here, but that's it, and I think it's just come up very well. All the knots are sealed in and looks good, client's happy, and thanks for watching.